Hello, and welcome back to Anime Corner. I'm Rhiannon.
And I'm still Sean.
Hello. Today we're going to be reviewing the manga and anime
Full Metal Alchemist
by
Hiromu Arakawa.
The series itself follows the Elric brothers, Edward and Alphonse, and we should note that that is their names even in the original Japanese. You may recall in our discussion of dub versus sub, we mentioned that names sometimes get changed when things get translated. This isn't one of them. It's set in a Western country, so all the names are Western to start with. And frankly, the name change was only done for kid stuff or things they want to try and make for kids. And Full Metal Alchemist is so not kid-friendly, and there's nothing they could do to make it kid-friendly.
Not hardly.
Nope. Anywho, Edward and Alphonse are actual factual alchemists. This exists in a world where alchemy works.
As well as cybernetics.
It's an interesting little mix. Well, basically, when they were very small, they were trying an alchemical experiment, and it literally exploded in their faces.
Kaboom.
Ed lost an arm and a leg, and Al lost his whole body.
Actually, Al is the guy in the suit of armor. Actually, he is the suit of armor. And Ed is the blonde.
Yes. Ed sealed Al's soul into a suit of armor
To save him. The only option
And
he had.
basically, the story follows them as they travel and try and find a way to get themselves back to normal, mostly through the hope of finding the legendary Philosopher's Stone. And along the way, they discover that all is not well in their country. Part of how they, go about their journey is that Edward becomes the youngest member to ever join the state alchemists. The army has an entire branch of alchemists.
Yeah. Especially in the military.
Which actually leads up to what the title means. State alchemists are given titles, either a reflection of their abilities or some physical trait. On the cover here, you see two other state alchemists. The fellow in front is Roy Mustang, the flame alchemist. His alchemy is primarily fire-based. Behind him is Alex Louise Armstrong.
The strong arm alchemist.
They're so cute, they can't stand themselves. Edward was given the title Full Metal Alchemist because of the full metal arm and leg that he has in replacement of the ones he lost. As you said, there's cybernetics here. Go figure. They call it automail. And basically, first there's the manga. There are also two anime series. The manga came first and the animes followed. Now, the thing is, there's the original anime, which is just Full Metal Alchemist, and a year or two ago, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood was started. The thing is, when they started the first anime, it started the same as the manga, but then the people making the anime and
Caught up to Hiromu, and she was about maybe a third to a half done.
And they reached a mutual agreement that the people doing the anime would do their own thing while she finished the manga. So at a certain point, the two stories diverge widely.
Very much so.
I mean, most of the characters are still the same, although there are characters in the manga that never made it to the first anime. But then the main bad guys are different. The foot soldiers for the main bad guy have differences. Some of them are the same, some aren't. So when they started up Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, it actually follows the manga storyline much more exactly. I mean, they still have a few tweaks here and there.
Yeah. Starting over from scratch, compressing some of the previously animated stories down a bit, and been there, done that.
Yes, and we understand that, but it does make them feel a little rushed. We will say that. But
once we get to the new stuff, it's all gravy.
Oh yes, all the versions of this story are wonderful. They are a wonderful balance of drama and comedy. Because, heavy drama, that can be good, but if you don't lighten up now and then, the depression it causes can be bad for sales. But now,
and
I was going to say, we've only mostly seen that. I've seen one subtitled episode, and the voices there were good. I personally thought Edward sounded a bit too girly. I mean, his voice actor's a woman. That's so not too surprising. In the English, he actually has a male voice actor. Vic, I believe, is pronounced Mignana. The Full Alchemist dub is one of the very best dubs we've ever seen. I mean, all the voice actors are excellent. They are giving it 100%. And it is just wonderful, really. I mean, Edward's American voice actor, Vic Mignogna, has become one of my favorite voice actors. When I see an anime has him listed in the cast, my general reaction is, okay, I should have a look at that. Now...
And he does Edward's Napoleonic rants beautifully.
Oh, yes. Edward's a bit short for his age, and he's very sensitive about it. Anyone who says anything about you are short tends to get a face full of Ed screaming.
Oh, yes.
Alphonse has had 2 voice actors. When they started Brotherhood, and they started, dubbing Brotherhood, I should say, they got back as many voice actors as they could. But the thing is, in the first dub, the voice actor for Al really was a 12-year-old boy. And my God, the talent in that kid is amazing because the emotions Al goes through, deep and complex, and you wouldn't think a kid could do that. But Aaron, I think it's Dismuke, just hit everyone perfectly. In Brotherhood, his voice had changed by then, so he didn't sound...
Puberty had done its evil work.
What can you do? So they hired in a woman to take his place. Do you remember what her name is?
No, not off the top of my head. But
Darn.
she does do a very passable impression of Aaron.
Yes, you can tell she's trying to sound like Al sounded in the first one, and by and large, she succeeds. Every now and then, there'll be a certain word or note that's like, wait, that's not quite right. But close enough. What works, works. Now,
a couple other voices also got changed out, probably because the original actors were otherwise occupied and couldn't make it back, including Scott McNeil and Damon Clark, whose absence is sorely missed.
What can you do? I believe, isn't Damon Clark the one that's like on Mentalist now?
NCIS LA, actually.
My bad, yes. I knew it was one of those. I have trouble keeping track of these things. So, he had more regular work where people would actually see his face. That probably had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Now, we personally think that this could be a good anime to turn to a live-action movie. I mean, Hollywood is, of late, starting to look at anime going, what can we turn to a live-action movie? There have been some mixed results.
Of course.
But
your best option would be to, like a trilogy, do Lord of the Rings sort of thing.
Yeah, because there's a lot of story here. A little too much for just one movie to do properly.
Yeah.
But it could work if they did it right. The key phrase, of course, is if they did it right.
Lord knows they had the CGI to help.
Oof, yes.
Especially with the alchemy.
Yes, the alchemy tends to be very flashy. Kind of like magic is in most movies. Because, well, you gotta see something when they're using it. But, we love this. It's one of our favorite series. It's not always easy to watch. There are parts that'll just have you tied up in knots. But it is beautifully done.
And there are bits you could arguably call mega violent.
Yeah.
There's a reason this is in the Adult Swim sector.
Mm-hmm. But, these characters, I have very rarely wanted so badly to reach through the TV screen and hug a character as I have with Edward and Alphonse. It's just, wanting so desperately to tell them, it'll be okay. I don't know how, but it'll be okay. That's how well done this is. Again, we've only seen the dub, but that should tell you something. If the dub is that good, the subtitle is probably really good too. This is male, female opinion, and we both love it. Like I said, still don't know how it ends. Want to know how? Well, we know how the first series ends. Gotta tell you, not thrilled with that ending.
Yeah.
But it could have been worse. It could have been much worse.
We definitely had the animated movie, to back it up.
Yes.
Just try and type some of the loose ends, but it still left a few loose ends.
And still not satisfied with their solution. We're very much hoping that the finale of the manga and Brotherhood will be better. And always count on these things. So we would recommend this to anyone who's at least 16, if not a little older.
Yeah, it might be a little much for the younger crowd.
Yeah. It's not good, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, for little ones, nightmare material. But for older people who can appreciate the depth of writing and, characterization, it is a wonderful thing. It works in all the story forms work. Like we said, it could work as a movie if they gave it enough time. Basically, we'd recommend it very much.
Go and enjoy.
Yes.
We done here?
Yes.
Okay.
That's that for this Anime Corner. See you next time.
Bye-bye.